Just put the pretty pictures, Johnny. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka GeekXX Chic, and we're back with another reaction to Cobra Kai. We're now into episode 6 of season 3, which is called King Cobra. So in the last episode, we got a little bit more history on Miyagi-Do, and we discovered through Daniel going to Japan to try to fix his whole business situation that Miyagi-Do actually had two branches of thought, so to speak. There was the kind that he learned through Mr. Miyagi, but then there was also another form that was learned and taught, I should say, by Sato and eventually Chosen. And basically, Daniel learned that there's just more than what meets the eye as far as what he thinks and believes Miyagi-Do, but also I think the whole point of the episode was for him to find his center, his true center again. And we hope that he found that after getting to see Kumiko and Chosen and, again, reconnect with those deep memories from his childhood and Mr. Miyagi. And of course, he had that beautiful note written about him to Yukie from Mr. Miyagi, which I think really helped him to, again, get himself back on track for what's important when it comes to his family, his business, and of course, his dojo. We're about ready to get into this episode, but before I do, if this is your first time to my channel, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for coming, and hopefully you like it enough to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps with the algorithm, which helps me out a lot, and I appreciate it deeply. And if you really like it here, maybe you'll think of hitting that subscribe button as well, so you can be notified when I do more of these reactions, as well as many other cool shows that are like it. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back, and hopefully you too will hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. All right, that out of the way, guys, let's get into the episode right about now. Get in the chopper! Hey, Devin Sawa! Hi, my Canadian friend.
You got a death wish, kid?
No, wish.
You could only hope.
Not afraid of it.
Is that right?
Really? Thanks for telling.
So I learned Tang Soo Do during the Korean War under Master Kim Il-sung. You'll learn the same.
Oh, that's
You
lovely.
can handle.
Don't you love the way they take those pieces of the culture and then they'll turn around and start calling them names and feel like they have the right to come into their country and you just completely destroy it?
I'm asking you to become more than just a soldier, son. Do you understand that?
I'd like you to sell your soul and become the devil.
And I will mold you into the ultimate weapon.
I hate the fact that he's recruiting.
Who are you now? Your profile is pretty bare.
Yeah, it's probably
What are
good.
you up to these
You really
days?
don't need to see the pictures of him passed out on the floor, disheveled, unshaven. Did I mention unshowered?
The kids are at your mother's.
Oh, my mother's wife. What happened?
John Kreese.
It's like, man, I haven't even been home for 5 minutes. God! Remember your old bullies?
Oh, look at this freak.
Come on, this is supposed to be your whole family now in Cobra Kai, right?
And they're natural athletes, which is exactly what's
They're
missing in our
bullies.
dojo.
Or do you not recognize yourself in the mirror anymore there? Interesting. As long as they're just not your kind of bully, right? Oh, okay.
Prepare yourselves for combat.
Yep. He's gonna
Oh,
learn how to
strong.
beat you up again.
Ready or what?
I hate this.
I don't think you're supposed to screw pulleys into the roof of a rental apartment.
2, 3, go.
Perfect! Nailed it. But also, does he learn just because his legs don't work, he's lost his ability to block falls? That's kind of something we're born with.
Say anything else?
You writing a novel?
Right? Like, holy crap! In caps!
This is huge. This is so huge. But I mean, you're not going to send that, right? You
Right?
cannot send her that message.
Why not?
He's like, you look like a sociopath.
35 years worth of stuff to say, all right?
You say
Okay,
that.
yeah, but shorter messages are way cooler.
You
Like
say
this-
that in person, Johnny. She's from the same generation as you.
This would be like if you liked all of her photos. Oh no. Oh no.
What the hell?
Oh, see, if you were more close to your son, you would already know these things.
Considering there's a Cape Fear level karate psycho terrorizing the neighborhood.
You see? It sounds crazy when you say it out loud.
Yep.
The man is sick. He's got weapons on him.
That's what Daniel's been trying to tell you.
Finish him.
No hesitation to be a bully. Dude, bros.
Where you going?
Yeah.
It's my spot.
You lost to an untrained fighter.
It's a cruel world.
Not a word of this to Kreese, understood? Distraction like that could get him killed.
Okay, that's not 100% wrong, but still not right either. And also, it's not really your call. Okay, hello, Billy.
These are the only photos I have. Don't have much after high school.
Tiger bait for the win.
You think the aquarium will let me get in there with the dolphins?
I don't know.
You know what? We could photomat it.
What?
All right, let's go, Hot Wheels.
It's like he's 100 years old.
It was a perfectly measured response to a man inciting violence.
And you struck him?
No, that's ridiculous. He's a liar.
Not this time.
Says here he's a Vietnam veteran. Green Beret, Silver Star.
Oh my God.
Those
All
guys went
that
through a
just
lot
means
of
he knows
trouble.
how to kill people.
Sign here to acknowledge you've been served these papers. And thanks for
Well-
coming in. That makes it a lot easier.
I was about to say, he's like, thanks. Normally we'd have to like get it couriered and it's such a pain in the ass. But yes, unfortunately, she let a little of that Daniel hot temper rub off on her.
You, big boy.
Yeah, Mr. Chatterbox.
All right, who's going down next?
You. Anyone who talks that much. He added to the moon tattoo. Nah, he fixed it. Good boy. The thing is, it's wrong that Kreese said take away the point system, but just because this man has such a big ass mouth, I'm not that mad at it. You didn't even have to tell him, huh? This is trauma, kids. Look at Kreese. Like a sick... Ugh. He's literally getting off on it. Oh, why are you looking away, Tori? This is your people. Soak it in. The kid didn't deserve to get that much of a beating, by the way. He went too far, but that is what happens when you bully people. Some people, they snap.
You get it?
It's so Insta-worthy. Look at you, Johnny. How did they not laugh all the way through this?
All right, just take the picture. Ready?
He's not going to eat it. What am I saying? The guy eats fried bologna. Of course he's not going to eat this. Miguel's so disgusted.
Or are you just going out with me to get Sam's attention?
Okay, girl who pursued the guy who was literally making a card to get back with his ex at the time.
I don't give a shit. Because all that matters is who wins in the end.
Okay. See how long that
Nice seeing
philosophy gets you in life before you end up in jail. Real jail.
You should try dipping your bread in the stuff.
Yeah.
It's now all your chicken cacciatore.
Talk a little business.
This didn't go well for you the last time you did it, Joe.
I don't trust
You
concealment.
think he learned something, Daniel?
We want him out by tomorrow.
All right, no problem. Tomorrow.
You're asking this man to go and show up to a psychotic karate man and tell him he's evicted as of like tomorrow, especially since they probably actually have a written contract? I love you, LaRussos, but this was not a smart move. Again, if you're going to set him up properly. Get him on camera. Show how vile he is and get that in front of a judge.
Son of a bitch, Kreese. You had him. You killed us.
I could.
And now he's going to say, this all happened because I showed mercy.
It's all my fault. Shut your goddamn mouth.
He's like, I think I'm allowed to panic. Someone just died in front of me. I mean, I know that this is supposed to show us why he believes in no mercy, but still doesn't track.
You have to leave today. That's not happening.
It's also not legal. Really? You thought violence was the way to go with the Unless you have a gun. This is a bad idea.
You helped a bunch of people and then walked away like a pussy.
Okay, Miguel.
Miguel.
See, he just needs to get either angry or distracted, it looks like.
But I can't give up anymore. I have a long way to go to be a better man, a better father,
Thank you.
teacher.
I'm like, father better be in there. So stop running away and quitting. Oh, he's so dumb. Just put the pretty pictures, Johnny.
Because now, it's open season.
On them
On them
and you.
and you.
He doesn't haven't had a new line in 30 years. At least they know that that would not be a LaRusso tactic. They already know that there's a snake dojo in the valley. Oh, save Anoush. But when would they had time to put a snake in there? What parent is an op? All right, guys, that was episode 6, which was called King Cobra. And we got a little bit of backstory into Kreese. That is one of those things that they have to kind of do in this show because, you know, Daniel, his story back in the movies, we learned as much as we needed to about Daniel. We got a little backstory on Mr. Miyagi, especially in the second season or second movie, but we didn't really hear much about Kreese. We never learned much about him, why he was the way he was. And since this show is mostly about Johnny, it makes sense for us to get a little more insight into why Kreese is the way that he is. Like I've said many, many times in other shows that I've reacted to, no villain is born, they are made. And that making is usually through a series of events that happen in their lives, sometimes traumatic, sometimes just horrible, sometimes of their own doing or things that happen to them. But basically how they choose to respond to that trauma is typically what starts to tilt them towards the villain persuasion, shall we say. And in the case of Kreese, like I said, in the first movie, we really got nothing on him. He was literally just this person to push along our antagonist, who is Johnny. He needed something to kind of be, the movie needed somebody to be kind of a bigger bad than Johnny, because Johnny was supposed to be like a 17, 18-year-old boy. Most people are going to give someone that age the benefit of the doubt and believe that they're not just evil. So they kind of needed something to solidify why Johnny was the way he was. And that's where Big Bad Kreese stepped into the picture. You know, mean mugging, army vet, you know, no mercy, etc., etc. So yeah, we didn't get a ton of backstory on why Kreese was the way he was. Why was he teaching these kids to be such arseholes? And this kind of gave us a little bit more of the truest of backstories, right? Because in Karate Kid 3, they touched on it with him and Silver, you know, is his name? I can't remember his name. I have got to watch 3 again. I'm sorry, guys. The names of the people in the third movie are definitely slipping out of my head. But anyway, we got a little bit of Kreese and his, you know, war buddies, and the fact that they were war buddies in the third movie. But again, we really didn't hear too much about Kreese's past. How did he get here? Why is he like this? And so this episode really kind of took us a few steps back. We got in the episode before this, Kreese, how he was bullied himself somewhat by people who were in his, I don't know, neighborhood, I suppose, and how him wanting to stand up for himself and become a better person and a hero is why he enlisted in the first place. And one could say he still had some altruistic nature in him there, that his motivation seemed somewhat pure, but I don't think that it was quite that pure. I think that really Kreese just always wanted to become somebody that could fight bullies. And much like Tori, he's kind of taking his sob story of having a sick mother and having to work hard and being bullied because of the fact that he had a sick mom and when was poor, etc., etc. He really wanted to get stronger to get revenge, right? Which is exactly why he keeps teaching this broken record of, you know, no mercy. You just got to keep, you know, hurting people before they can hurt you and making everyone scared of you, because it's still coming from that scared child that was clearly bullied a lot when he was young. So anyway, we're just kind of extending on that story from the last episode, that once he got into the military, we now meet Kreese's sensei, and we see where he gets a lot of that same annoying, rude, cold, detached rhetoric around, you know, not having any empathy or sympathy and how those things are considered weak. We see that Kreese actually exercised a moment of mercy and not wanting to blow one of his fellow operation mates to hell along with the enemy. And of course, unfortunately, as we saw, it ended up getting them captured. His friend ended up dying anyway, which was the saddest part, I'd say. But, you know, it kind of gave us that idea of like why Kreese is so against mercy and so against hesitation, because in his mind, he probably thinks, you know, oh, if I just push that button, I mean, yes, I would have killed my friend, but at least we wouldn't have gotten captured. It gives us a little insight into why he's so self-serving and why he feels like it's got to be him over everybody else. But again, it just doesn't, I think it was trying to evoke a little bit of sympathy, I guess you could say, for his plight, but I personally just can't feel it, because while I understand where some of that logic would have come from, or even how it led him to get to where he was in the first movie was 30 years ago, and Kreese would have been, a man in his 40s at that point, right? Now he's a man likely in his 70s, and he is still in the same BS. Like, there comes a point, and especially after everything he went through, right? From losing everything in the third movie, thinking he was going to get it back in the first movie, and then in the third movie, thinking he was going to get it back, but then getting his butt kicked again and humiliated again and dragging his friends into it. You think Kreese would stop and go, maybe I should re-examine this philosophy that I've been living with and see if it really is benefiting me, because he has no one. Right? He was living in a homeless shelter. He has no friends. Johnny wants nothing to do with him. Like, dude, this is not working. The definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And Kreese still just doesn't get that this is not the way of life. The way of the fist has left him alone, angry, bitter, mean, hateful, and with literally no one around him who's not either scared of him or using him, because really these kids who are under him right now are using him to learn how to be basically better bullies. None of them like him. None of them actually would do anything for him, truly, but even he doesn't get that yet. So anyways, it's still interesting though to get more insight into his mentality and why he is the way he is. And again, to understand that he's not just some evil bot. There are people that he cared for. There was some level of reasoning behind why he does what he does. But of course, in the end, it's still wrong. And of course, I had to cackle at the LaRusso's plan getting completely destroyed again. And this time it not being Daniel's fault. But as I said in the last episode, I understand why Daniel's wife was so upset and why she felt the need to go over there and deal with Kreese face to face. But the problem with the LaRussos is that they have a threshold of how low they're going to go. Thank goodness, because that's what normal people have. But Kreese there's no bottom. Kreese will go to the seventh circle of hell happily and still find a way to dig deeper. Like, he will always go lower. He will always find another way to hurt. And because he's playing that game, if Daniel and his wife continue to think that they can play him at that game, they will always lose. It's going to take a while for them to understand the only way to beat Kreese is to literally keep going the path of your own morals and walking your own high ground. It's the only way. That's why Miyagi beat him time and time and time again. He never sunk to Kreese's level, and it drove Kreese insane. To this day, the man still tries to insult a man who's been in the grave. That's how much Mr. Miyagi beat him. So hopefully at some point, now this will be the wake-up call that LaRussos get to know that they can't keep playing tit for tat on his level, because they're going to continue to lose. But they're also going to need help, because they really don't understand how Kreese works either. They're very much coming in from that very tainted lens of all the things that Kreese has done to them. They need Johnny. These two hard heads have to get together and realize they have a common issue here, which is Kreese, and that they need to shut him down, or at least shut his teaching down. More and more people who are hurt and angry and willing to turn that into a weapon against people who are weaker than them physically. And we already saw what it did to Hawk there, him taking out all of his bullying frustration on that kid. Like I said in the episode, I mean, the kid half deserved it, because you keep pushing people, something gonna happen, but he also didn't deserve to be, it looks like he was probably hospitalized after all that. But that's where it's going, right? Hawk is going to end up like Dutch in jail. All these kids are going to end up in juvie at some point if they're going by Kreese's way of the fist, right? Because it's just too much and it's unnecessary. So something's got to happen, and it's got to happen soon. And I'm glad at least now that the LaRussos are understanding what's truly up. Johnny's back on the right page. Again, great episode. I enjoyed watching it. Hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button, and we will see you in the next video.